Tom Holland gets called privileged in an interview. His response is unexpected. The set was sleek, modern, and buzzing with the energy of a live broadcast. It was supposed to be a casual interview, nothing too heavy, just a quick chat about Tom Holland's latest film. But anyone who knew Jessica Reed, the sharp-tongued journalist sitting across from Tom, knew that she didn't do casual. She was infamous for sliding in questions that caught guests off guard, questions that went viral. Tom Holland sat comfortably at first, dressed in his usual laid-back style, simple sweater, jeans, and that signature boyish grin. But that grin was about to be tested. "Tom," Jessica started sweetly, "you've had an incredible career. Spider-Man, award-winning dramas, and now you're one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood." She paused, the grin fading. "But let's be real. How much of that is talent, and how much of that is pure privilege?" The question hit hard. The audience in the studio gasped. The chat feed on the live stream blew up instantly. "Whoa, she really went there. Is this a trap? He's gonna freeze, watch." But Tom didn't flinch. He took a deep breath, rubbed his hands together, and then he smiled. "You know what?" he began. "That's actually a fair question." The audience fell silent, surprised by his honesty. "Look, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have privilege. I'm a white guy from London who got crazy lucky. I had supportive parents, good schools, and yeah, some doors opened for me that others don't get." Jessica arched an eyebrow, clearly not expecting this. "But," Tom continued, "here's where I think people get it twisted. Privilege doesn't mean you don't work hard. It means you had a head start, and I'm very aware of that." The chat feed lit up again. "Damn, that's actually a solid answer." Did not expect him to say that. He's too real for this industry. But Tom wasn't done. "And honestly," he added, "if having that head start means I have a bigger platform, then it's my responsibility to use it for more than just promoting movies. That's why I work with charities, push for mental health awareness, and try to be more than just Spider-Man." The audience applauded, soft at first, then louder. Jessica, still trying to hold her ground, shot back. "But don't you think there are actors out there, more talented, who'll never get the chances you did?" Tom didn't skip a beat. "Absolutely," he said, "and that sucks. But me pretending that isn't true, that helps no one. So instead of feeling guilty about it, I try to pull people up with me whenever I can." The audience burst into full-blown applause, and for the first time in the interview, Jessica had no comeback. The applause echoed through the studio, and Tom sat back in his chair, not with smugness, but with a kind of calm self-awareness that only deepened the moment's impact. Jessica Reed shuffled her notes, visibly thrown off by his humility, but she wasn't done, not yet. "All right, Tom," she said, leaning in, "you talk about using your platform for good. But some people argue that actors love playing the activist card just to save face, especially when they're called out for privilege. What do you say to that?" The question was a loaded one. The chat feed instantly lit up again. "This is a setup. He's gonna fumble here. Let's see if he can handle this one." Tom chuckled, clearly expecting this. "Listen," he began, "I get it. People are skeptical, and honestly, they should be. There are celebs who throw in a cause like it's an accessory, do a couple of charity galas, post a hashtag, and call it activism." The audience laughed knowingly. "But here's the thing," Tom continued. "If I'm lucky enough to have millions of people paying attention to what I say, why wouldn't I try to talk about things that matter? Mental health, homelessness, education. These are things I care about. And yeah, sometimes I screw up. Sometimes I say the wrong thing. But I'd rather try and mess up than stay quiet and pretend none of it matters." The crowd erupted into another round of applause, and even Jessica had to nod in reluctant approval. But Tom wasn't finished. "You know," he added, "there's this weird idea that if you have privilege, you're not allowed to speak on issues, like you can't possibly understand. But if the only people allowed to talk about inequality are the ones suffering from it, how does anything change?" The audience went dead silent. The kind of silence that comes when someone says something that actually makes people think. Jessica glanced at her producer off stage, clearly realizing the interview wasn't going the way she planned. but she tried for one last dig. So, Tom, bottom line, do you think you deserve the platform you have? The question was a trap. The audience gasped, waiting for him to trip. Tom didn't blink. No one deserves fame, he replied. It's not something you earn, it's something you're given. And what you do with it, that's what matters. Boom! The studio exploded with applause. Even Jessica, who'd clearly aimed to catch him off guard, cracked a smile. All right, she admitted. I didn't expect that answer. Tom grinned, the boyish charm returning. I'm full of surprises. The interview wrapped, but the internet? It was just getting started. As soon as the interview ended, clips of Tom's candid responses flooded social media. Within minutes, the hashtags Tom Holland Unfiltered and Tom Keeps It Real were trending worldwide. The exact moment he said, "No one deserves fame. It's what you do with it that counts," was clipped, captioned, and turned into a viral TikTok within 10 minutes. On Twitter, reactions poured in. Tom Holland just gave the most honest answer I've ever heard from a celebrity. This is how you handle a tough question. Class, respect. They tried to trap him, and he flipped it into a masterclass in humility. But of course, not everyone was on his side. Critics chimed in with predictable cynicism. Easy for him to say with millions in the bank. Another celebrity trying to relate from his mansion. Stop romanticizing privilege. Yet for every hater, there were 10 supporters. One tweet from a teacher went particularly viral. My students watched that Tom Holland interview in class today. One kid said, he didn't get mad, didn't get defensive, he just kept it real. That's the kind of role model I want them to have. It got over 200,000 likes in under a day. But what really made the internet explode? The next morning, Tom posted a simple story on Instagram. No flashy graphics, no long captions, just a black screen with white text. If you're talking about privilege, start by helping those without it. Here's how. Underneath was a list of verified links to mental health organizations, youth mentorship programs, and educational charities he supports. No selfies, no press release, just action. Fans and news outlets couldn't help but notice how he didn't directly address the viral interview. He just redirected the conversation to where it mattered most. That one post, it raised over $500,000 in donations within 48 hours. A week later, The Late Show invited Tom to talk about the interview's aftermath. The host laughed as he opened. You had the internet fighting over you last week. Half thought you were too honest, and the other half wanted to build you a statue. Thoughts? Tom chuckled. Honestly, I didn't expect all of that. I just didn't want to sit there pretending like I don't know how lucky I am. Because I do. And if that makes people uncomfortable, well, I'd rather be honest than perfect. The audience roared with applause. But it wasn't just another viral moment. It sparked a bigger discussion online about privilege, humility, and how celebrities should use their influence. People weren't just talking about the interview. They were asking real questions. Why don't more celebrities just admit their advantages and still use their platforms for good? Why is honesty so rare in Hollywood? Tom Holland didn't dodge the hard questions. He didn't give a PR scripted answer. He leaned in, with honesty, self-awareness, and zero ego. And in doing so, he reminded everyone of something simple but powerful. It's not about how you got your platform. It's about what you do with it. What do you think? Should celebrities speak more openly about privilege, or is it better for them to stay quiet and let their work do the talking? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love stories that go beyond the headlines, hit like and subscribe. Because in a world full of noise, we bring you the stories that matter. The impact of Tom Holland's unexpected response didn't just end with the interview. It triggered a storm that rippled across social media, news outlets, and even classrooms. By the following morning, YouTube was flooded with reaction videos titled, Tom Holland handles tough interview like a pro. Tom Holland's response to privilege. Question is exactly what Hollywood needed. Why Tom Holland's honesty just raised the bar for celebrity interviews. Clips of his calm demeanor and his candid, no BS response became the talk of TikTok. One creator, with over 1 million followers, posted a side-by-side comparison. On one side, Tom's response, and on the other, a series of clips of celebrities fumbling through similar questions in the past. Her caption read, "Notice the difference? Honesty greater than PR speak every time." The video racked up 6 million views in under 12 hours. But what really fueled the conversation was when some of Tom's industry peers chimed in. Zendaya reposted a clip from the interview on her Instagram story with the simple caption, "Class act." Chris Evans tweeted, "Tom Holland just taught a masterclass on humility, legend." Even Robert Downey Jr. threw in a playful nod, tweeting, "Look at my boy out here schooling the press." One proud dad moment. Each post only poured more fuel onto the already raging fire. But then the debate shifted. Not everyone was singing Tom's praises. Some media critics questioned whether Tom's response was a calculated PR move, designed to humanize his image even further. Think pieces started popping up. Is Tom Holland's honesty too perfect to be real? The new celebrity trend, weaponizing humility? One late-night comedian even joked, "Only Tom Holland could admit to privilege and somehow come out more likable. If I did that, people would cancel me before the commercial break." But Tom, he kept quiet. No clarifications, no follow-ups. And that silence spoke volumes. A week later, something unexpected happened. One of the charities Tom had linked in his Instagram story, a small, London-based organization focused on providing creative opportunities for underprivileged youth, posted this message. "Thanks to Wanawa's Tom Holland's mention, we've received more donations in the past 3 days than we have in the past year. You're making dreams possible, Tom." Fans reshared it everywhere. Suddenly, what started as a controversial interview had morphed into something bigger. Real-world impact. And in true Tom Holland fashion, he didn't post a victory lap or bask in the praise. Instead, he reposted the charity's message with just 3 words. "This is the point." In the days that followed, the focus shifted from Tom himself to the broader conversation around privilege, honesty, and responsibility. Podcasts debated whether more public figures should follow Tom's lead, admitting privilege without guilt, but with purpose. A high school teacher even went viral for showing the interview in class, followed by a discussion about privilege, humility, and how social influence should be used. His tweet read, "Today my students debated Tom Holland's interview. One 16-year-old said, he didn't act like he was above the question, he treated it like it mattered." That's leadership. It got 400,000 likes overnight. Tom Holland didn't dodge the hard questions. He didn't play the victim. He didn't spit out a PR perfect answer. He did something rarer. He told the truth, owned his privilege, and used it for good. In a world where public figures are constantly either over-apologizing or over-defending, Tom chose something different: accountability without ego. So what do you think? Should more celebrities approach interviews with this kind of honesty? Or is the media too focused on trapping them in gotcha moments? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more stories about the people behind the headlines, hit like and subscribe. Because in a world full of noise, we bring you the stories that matter.